Hey guys, Zach Barton over at Realty Texas. I hope you are having an excellent day so far. I'm super excited to be talking with you guys today. Today we are going to be discussing the differences between purchasing a new home or a resale home or a home that's already on the market, got a for sale sign in the yard. So pretty exciting stuff. They definitely both have some of their ups and downs, some of their own challenges and benefits. So we'll review a couple of them today. So super excited. First and foremost, reason or the difference between the buying new and buying a resale home, closing costs. The first difference that we'll discuss is going to be closing cost. So when you are purchasing a new build, quite often what happens is when you go in, you tour the new build, your realtor lines up a showing for you guys. You go in, you meet with the community representative, they kind of explain to you the upgrades and the amenities and let you tour some homes. And what they will often do is ask that you, get pre-qualified with their lender. So oftentimes the builders are going to offer some kind of closing incentives. That is, it could be dollars or a budget that they give to you to add upgrades to your home. It could be dollars for closing costs. So traditionally there's about 1 to 2% closing cost for a purchase. That's stuff that goes to taxes, insurance, title paperwork, things of that nature. And so the builders will help cover some of that cost, potentially, not every single one of them, but they often have specials that they're running where, if you sign a contract by the end of X month or by the end of X week, and if you use our lender, we will go ahead and pay for, X amount of closing costs. And those costs range anywhere from 1 to 5%, 1 to several $1,000s. I've seen them go up to $15,000, $20,000 at a time in closing concessions offered by the builder. Now, that, when compared to a resale home, is a little different. So most of the time, most resale homes are not going to straight up offer closing costs. It is something that has to be negotiated. But when you go, say you find a home on Zillow or a home that a realtor sends you, that home, if it's a resale property and it's not a new build, likely isn't going to have any closing cost incentives attached to it. It's unlikely that the seller is going to have agreed to pay for closing costs or anything of that nature. With that said, everything is negotiable. So there are definitely some key closing costs that I always, as a buyer, whenever I'm representing a buyer, we try to look for the seller when it's a resale property to pay. So we like to, if we can, get them to pay for your home warranty, some additional title coverage that ensures the property boundaries. It's a lot of jargon there, but basically what that means is extra insurance on the title of the property. So there are different things. If you need assistance with closing costs, a really good trick that you can use when you're going to a resale property where they don't typically offer closing costs. A really good trick that I like to do is sometimes I'll offer, if my buyer needs an extra $1,000 or $2,000 to make sure that they have enough funds at closing to purchase the home. A lot of times you can ask for that and negotiate that from the seller, or negotiate those closing costs to be paid by the seller on behalf of the buyer. So it is negotiable, but you are more often, you got a much higher likelihood of getting closing costs paid for when working with a builder versus a resale home. So that's reason number one. To sum it all up, closing costs. There's potential for closing costs to be paid for by the seller, whether it be a new build or resale, but you got a much higher likelihood of, it's more often than not you have some kind of incentive from the builder versus more often than not you don't whenever it's a resale property. So it's kind of how that breaks down. Difference number two when considering a resale property or a new home, that's going to be your time frame. So here's a fun one. A lot of new build properties and a lot of communities that have new builds going into them have properties that are called spec homes. And those spec homes are properties that are available for move-in within the next, I'd say average, 15 to 90 days. So they have a pretty quick turnaround. In fact, basically, they will sell you that home about as fast as you could purchase a resale property. So a lot of builders have those up and running, but more often than not, you're gonna have to wait for your new build. And if you wanna do a lot of customization and upgrades to your new build, and you really want that home to be exactly what you want, all the finishes you want, then you're looking at around anywhere from a 3 to 6 months, sometimes as long as 9-month build time frame. So that's something to think about. If you are thinking, I may be buying a home soon, I'm not sure if I should buy a new build or if I should, go with a resale home and work with someone who's already owned that home and they're putting it back on the market for sale. a lot of times you're juggling that, and one very important thing to consider is your time frame. Again, if you're looking to build new, definitely always an option. A lot of times communities will have homes that are ready to go immediately, but quite often they don't have those opportunities, and you are going to be looking at an extended building time frame. Again, anywhere from 3 to 9 months realistically. So that's just something to plan for. You and your realtor, if we're working together, we can always, help our clients figure out how to bridge that gap in between, I live here and it's going to be 6 months till this is ready, and what happens in between. So if you're doing a new build, for obvious reasons, they got to do permitting, they got to, build the whole property, you're looking at a much longer timeline to get into your home. So if you can wait, if you have the patience, if you really want to specify the exact finishes of your home, maybe a new build's for you. If you're ready to go right now though, you can always go the resale route. So resale homes are typically available within 0 to 90 days. Every once in a while you have a issue where the current owner can't move out for a certain point of time, and that's always negotiable. But if the home's on the market, chances are they're ready to sell pretty quickly. Again, 0 to 90 days. So if you're thinking about buying a home and you're looking at whether or not you should consider new build versus resale, one thing that you should really consider is that time frame. How soon do I need to move? Am I ready to move? Have I talked to my mortgage broker and ironed out the details of where my credit needs to be and what kind of payment I can expect? Am I ready for that? And if you are, then you can always look at both options, resale and new build. But just know that there are going to be some differences in time frame there. Difference number 3 when you're considering purchasing a new build versus a resale home. Well, obviously we all know, price is going to be a huge factor when determining what property you want to purchase. So what we know, on average, you're looking at about $30,000 to $40,000 increase in price when purchasing a new build versus a similar property that is a resale. Now, if it's a relatively new resale property, i.e., they bought the home last year and they are selling it in a community that still has a lot of new builds, those numbers don't necessarily stay true. But let's say, for example, you have a neighborhood that's established and they stopped building 10 years ago, and you compared that to a neighborhood that is still building right now, and you have a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,500 square foot home in the 10-year-old neighborhood, and you have the exact same size and bedroom count and bathroom count in the new neighborhood. On average, what you see is a differential of around $30,000. So this home in the resale neighborhood, same stats, same criteria, same size, will be worth about $30K, $40K less than the resale property. So you are paying a premium to purchase a new build. That is something to keep in mind. Now, of course, new builds offer you, more customization, less worry, less routine maintenance that needs to be done in the first, couple years of owning that property. There's always maintenance that comes with property ownership, but there's just less of that headache to deal with when purchasing a new build, but it's gonna come with a premium and cost. So always something to consider, but that is a difference number 3 when considering, am I gonna buy new or am I gonna buy a resale? There is an increase in price on the new builds, so of around $30,000 when compared with comparable properties. So something to keep in mind. All right, guys, we are coming up on consideration number 4. What should I be thinking about when I am purchasing a new build versus purchasing a resale home? Number 4, location. So obviously we know in real estate, location is vastly important. People are deciding where they live based on the schools and the job opportunities and the amenities and things of that nature that are around them. So when you're thinking about new builds and you're thinking about location, one thing to keep in mind is they are building where the land is plentiful. So quite often when you're thinking about purchasing a new build, one of the things that you're going to have to consider is that if I'm purchasing that new build in a highly condensed area, the price is going to be considerably higher because there is a higher demand for prices or for that property in areas that are more condensed. So quite often what I find for a lot of my clients is whenever we are looking at properties in more dense and condensed areas, oftentimes we have to kind of put new builds on the back burner. So that's something to think about. If you are thinking about purchasing a new build, ask yourself if you're okay going a little bit further out. So say you live in Austin right now, or around Austin, would you be okay going up to Round Rock to look at all the new communities up there? Or down to Buda or Kyle, or maybe Georgetown or Leander, Cedar Park. Lots of new builds there. And that's not to say there aren't a lot of new build opportunities within Austin, within the Austin city proper, because there certainly are. But a lot of times when you see those new builds, they're going to be on condominiumized plats, which is where it's kind of like a townhome, where they shrink your lot down smaller than the average size, and they technically consider it a condo or a townhome, even though it functions as a house. It's a structure, you have a yard, you have plenty going on. So that's something to consider. If you are looking for a new build, are you willing to go a little bit further out to get a little more bang for your buck? Or if you want to be downtown or closer to the Central Austin area, are you okay with a slightly smaller lot because there's not a lot of land to go around? So what land the builders can gobble up, they have to cut up into really fine pieces before they sell to you. So just something to consider. So let's roll right into reason or consideration number 5. Consideration number 5, guys, home warranty. This is a fun one. Basically, if you are purchasing a home anywhere, there is always the opportunity to purchase a home warranty that you can attach to that home. And there are a lot of great companies. Feel free to DM me, again, if you're looking for some good warranty companies to consider when purchasing your home. But anyways, what a home warranty does is it just offers you, the buyer, some peace of mind. Usually they cost anywhere from $300 to $900. And what it does is it covers your property, most of the major appliances and major issues that are known to arise just when owning property. It covers a lot of those issues for the first year to 2 years. So anytime, little hot tip if you're thinking about selling a property soon, anytime that I'm working with a seller, I always encourage my seller to offer a home warranty to their buyers. So it's something that I like to use when I'm marketing resale properties is, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, when you purchase our home, it's going to come with at least, a $400 credit towards a home warranty of your choice. So it's a very good marketing tactic, inside tip if you're a seller. But above and beyond that, it is negotiable on resale properties. So if I'm a buyer and I am shopping for a resale property, I decide I don't want to go with the builder. I don't want to pay the premium. I don't want to go to the neighborhoods that they're building in right now. I prefer to be in this area that's more established, whatever it is. Should you choose to purchase a resale property, you can always work on getting a home warranty. In fact, I always push for that for my buyers. I always try to negotiate that the seller pays for my buyer's home warranty, or at least gives them some kind of credit towards a home warranty. Not every seller is going to be willing to do that, and even if they don't, I always still encourage my buyer to purchase a home warranty. It's very good to have, it provides for some peace of mind, and it lets you know as the buyer that for the first year or two that you're in that home, a lot of the major issues that could arise, that could have been overseen, when purchasing the home, a lot of them will be covered with really minimal out-of-pocket expense to you. So it's very good for your peace of mind as a buyer. But what I can say is while they're always negotiable and always encouraged on a resale property, they almost come standard on every new build that you purchase. So of course, new builds do have their premiums, they have their benefits and their losses that we've discussed previously. But if you're purchasing a new build, they almost always come with a home warranty. In fact, they usually come with 2 separate warranties. One of those warranties is traditionally is going to be a workmanship warranty, and that usually covers any major defects that show up, major cracks in the wall or drywall issues, or the door jamb wasn't properly installed, or my garage door broke, within the first year or 2, however long their craftsmanship warranty covers. It's going to cover anything major like that. The shingles weren't glued down properly. Anything you can imagine, workmanship, anywhere that the workers touched or hammered a nail in or did something, it's usually covered for 1 or 2 years for most builders. Then you usually also, in addition to that, have a 10-year foundation warranty that also comes standard with a lot of new build properties. And what that offers you is just what it sounds like. But for the first 10 years, if there's any abnormal settling, most properties will settle within the first 10 years of that concrete foundation slab being poured. There's always some settling, especially in Texas. But if it is beyond a tolerable amount, or if it is a true foundation issue, usually most new builds are going to cover or give you a warranty for up to 10 years covering that new foundation, so that you have plenty of time to let that home settle. And if anything pops up, you can correct it at that point. The one cool thing I will say about a new build home warranty, a little industry trick I like, is that if you are to, with a traditional resale warranty, they're not going to come through and fix every single small issue, because usually you are purchasing a warranty that's going to cover specific issues, whereas a worksman warranty covers any issues throughout the house. And I say any sparingly. There are issues that aren't going to be covered. Chips and paint worksman warranties for builders typically aren't covered. So there are small things that they're not going to cover. But a little fun industry insider information here, what you can do with your new build warranty is, when you know you're about a month or two out from the expiration of that warranty, you can call in a third-party inspector. And again, feel free to DM me if you're looking for any third-party inspection companies that you'd like to, if you bought a new build 2 years ago and you're coming up on the end of your warranty and you want to do this, feel free to give me a shout. I'd be happy to pass some good experts along that could help you out with this. But what you do is say the end of my new build warranty, my worksman warranty, is going to be expiring in 2 months. What I can do is hire a third-party inspector to come out and go through the entire home and find all the deficiencies, and then I can turn over that inspection report to the builders, and they often will honor all of the issues, the known deficiencies. They'll go through that inspection report with you and tell you exactly everything that they'll fix, because there's always little things that come up as you purchase a home, and as you live in it for a couple years, you notice, oh, I didn't realize this light switch didn't work, or this outlet didn't work, or this crack formed there, whatever it is. So it's nice with a new build to be able to, a couple months before the end of your warranty, go through that home with a fine-tooth comb. In fact, you hire someone to go through that home for you, because they're professionals and they will find every single issue you didn't know was there. And they'll give you a nice long list of every issue, and you can turn that over to the builder. And again, oftentimes they'll run that, they'll compare your list to their warranty, and they'll fix every single issue. So that's a fun fact about the builder's warranty and a little insider tip. If you're thinking about building a new build, if you're already in the works in building a new build, or if you have already purchased a new build and you're getting towards the end of your warranty, something to keep in mind. Remember, mark the end of that date, mark the end of that warranty, mark that date in your calendar. And as you creep up on that, consider getting a third-party inspection, just so you can, have that warranty cover any issues that have cropped up over the year or two that you've owned the property. So that's it. There are a lot of good options one way or the other. There are some phenomenal resale properties, and there's some phenomenal new build communities. There's always new properties coming on the market, and always new communities opening up around town. So if you have any questions, if you, anything at all, any comments, any feedback you'd like to leave, I'd love to chat with you about it. The fact is, whether you're buying new or you're buying resale, there are a lot of different options. I'd love to chat with you about them. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us over here. You can message down below or leave a comment. But yeah, there are a lot of options. There's some nuances to purchasing resale or new, but they both offer some great advantages. So again, feel free to comment, feel free to share this video if you found it useful, and let me know if I could be of any service. Thanks, guys.